with you time some Doctor Who news. Um, I hope some of you folks are getting a kick out of this in the morning. I know I am because, in a way, it helps me keep in contact with everybody. Also, I can do this quickly before work, and I know it's going to go straight into the video file for you all to watch. Um, and who knows? Maybe there's a few of you out there this morning going, "Where's that Doctor Freedom guy? He ain't out there in the parking lot." But yeah, I got cleared through medical yesterday pretty easily, but only because I've heard it's a lot of people out there are getting this new strand of COVID, the Omicron variant. I keep thinking of when they say names like that, you keep thinking back to your old days in science fiction. Like, you know, when the Omicron variant first came out, I started remembering this old episode of Space 1999, the Lambda variant, and I'm like, or then somebody brought up the Unicron variant. Yeah, the Unicron variant is something you don't want to happen. That's when a giant menacing transforming robot planet shows up in your solar system. It's going to eat you. But hopefully that never happens. Yeah, apparently now the latest bit for Doctor Who, the latest suspect now that has suddenly crapped itself into the scene via the rumor channel is Danny Dyer, because apparently he's leaving what was it, EastEnders, I believe it is. And now everybody's assuming he's leaving that show for Doctor Who. Now I've got other people saying no, because he's going to a role on Sky. But of course you know how these things run. Now remember this last time we had this go around. We had Chris Marshall suddenly announced he was leaving Death in Paradise. And then within 48 hours of one another, we had Peter Capaldi announcing he was leaving, and then you had Chris Marshall announcing he was leaving Death in Paradise. So this led a lot of us to believe, okay, something's going on here. And turns out, no, there wasn't anything going on there. He just wanted to be home closer to his family. Everybody think, yeah, it is the greatest gig in the world. Yeah, you get to go hang out in the tropics. Yeah, but when you're going to miss your family for 6 months out of every year, it's not exactly a grand proposition. So now Danny Dyer's latest, and this is a 44-year-old guy. And I keep sitting here thinking of how much people complained when Peter Capaldi took the role, and he was like 56. And I'm like, would, the Doctor Who public at this point accept a 44-year-old guy, like Danny Dyer? Would they do it? Now, me personally, I keep telling you, I don't care if it's somebody shows up in there with a bozo wig, purple skin, and flaring green polka dots. Anybody who's got the courage to take on that role, I will stand by them. And I keep telling people that we stand by the show here. We stand by the Doctor here. We don't throw it under the bus because they made a casting decision that we don't personally like. And the thing is, everybody who's been the Doctor has, I've occasionally grown to love, even if I had a bit of trouble with them in earlier times, I've grown to love them over time. Like I said, a lot of people threw a lot of shade onto Colin Baker for a while there, and a lot of people were blaming Sylvester McCoy and JNT for the fall of Doctor Who back in '89. And it's like, no, there's a bunch of people who decided they wanted the show off the air at that point. One of them being, I'm not going to give that jackass his name. He's still striding around like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, like I said, now they've thrown Danny Dyer's name out there, and I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see RTD casting Danny Dyer, but, would he do something unexpected like that? Just to really, really screw with people. Not to mention, I really don't want to imagine poor Danny Dyer and Michael Gray, thank you. I was trying not to say the name, but that jackass. Because imagine, unless they do something radical that they haven't done in the new series, whoever regenerates who the new Doctor is going to be in Jodie's outfit. I just think it was a wee bit awkward seeing Jody running around in Peter Capaldi's suit for the first episode. Just imagine how awkward it's going to be for the person coming in who's going to be wearing the rainbow shirt and the short trousers, and it's going to be a bit of weirdness there, no matter who they are. But like I said, this is RTD. It's going to be a whole new ball game. So we don't know. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be Danny Dyer. I really don't think it's going to be. I think it's just another case of somebody announced a career move at this time, so therefore there must be ulterior motives. Like I said, I've been down that road before. I thought for sure Chris Marshall had it because I've seen Chris Marshall in Death in Paradise, and there was a lot of moments there. If you go back and play, go look at the clips for him in Death in Paradise. There were moments when he could have been the Doctor with some of the mannerisms and things like that he had. So I could see Chris Marshall doing it, but no, I don't think he's ever going to take the role. That would mean going down to Wales for how many months a year? And plus, they're still having to quarantine and all that right now for COVID. Matter of fact, I think some areas of UK have gone back into lockdown. Yeah, let me know in the comment box, what's going on there, because so no, I don't think it's going to be Danny Dyer. I don't think it's going to be Ollie Alexander. He's once again come out and said, no, I have nothing to do with Doctor Who. His agent had been saying it for months, and now he said it twice publicly. No, I have nothing to do with it. Now we know Tanaya Miller's been hired on supposedly for an episode of the RTD era, but like I said, wouldn't it be a nice twist if it turns out that was all smokescreen? Because she actually is the 14th Doctor. I could see Tanaya Miller doing it. Or Cush Jumbo was the name. Yeah, thank you, the person. Sorry, I don't have the comment box in front of me. But I want to thank you all for reminding me of the name there. Cush Jumbo. And it's like, I'm sorry, I don't want to sound mean, but that sounds like the name of a brand of pot. I'm sorry. Hey, can you get me a 5-bag, a nickel bag of that Cush Jumbo? I'm sorry, it sounds mean, but I don't know. That's the first thing that pops into my head. I don't want to sound derogatory. It's just, I'm an old fart, okay? What can you expect? A few more minutes here, and I got to get up, start wandering into the building. Okay, Ralph Little. Yeah, I agree with the folks here in the comment box. I don't think it's Danny Dyer. I think it's just another big coincidental thing everybody's blowing out of proportion. I don't see it happening. I love it. It is, oh goodness gracious, 16 degrees out here today. You see, I don't mind that it gets to really cold, because I hate driving on ice. I hate driving on snow. As long as the snow ain't piled up, and it's to the point I can't see, I don't give a shit how cold it gets. Oh no, I said the dirty demonetizing word. Yeah, lately that's a new thing that YouTube's been pulling. I can sit here and not say a single dirty word, not say a single thing, and I go to monetize the thing and boom, it comes up yellow, which means it's under review. And I'm like, what a load of crap. I remember back in the... Sorry, I'm still a little phlegmy every now and then. I'm going to go see the doctor about that, getting, maybe get some Mucinex or something. But, I remember, when this used to be pretty much, you've had people running around out here shouting, every name on the planet and every word on the planet, and they didn't care as long as they got their revenue money. But now it's like one state on this planet in the United States, I think it was California, passes this thing. Now you got to make sure every video is marked not for kids and all this stuff. And I'm like, what the hell ever happened to the parents? That's funny, because my mom and dad used to make sure they knew what I was watching. Until I reached the age of reason, which, then again, this United States, what is the age of reason? Ugh. All right, so yeah, I don't see Danny Dyer doing it either. I'm just going to repeat that one more time. I don't think it's him. I think it's just a lot of hubbub thrown up, to helps provide a smoke screen. Plus, it's all coincidental. Because you're talking about exiting 30. I think Jody's 37 now. For a 44-year-old guy. And it's just, you can't go back to that format. You've got to keep changing the game. Is there an age of reason? I'm sorry, I kind of stole that saying from George Carlin, because everybody would ask him if he was Catholic. He goes, yeah, I was Catholic until I reached the age of reason. It was one of his things on one of his comedy shows, but it was also the truth. He kind of fell out with religion a long time before he passed. But I want to thank all of you, by the way, before I go, and I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned this before, for all your thoughts, all your prayers, all your well wishes. Yeah, you're true. What does count as doctor-ish, Philip says. I could agree with that. That's a good question. But what are they going to go for in the new year is what I'm thinking. But I want to thank all of you who've been thinking warmly of me, Lady Gallifrey, and all that during this time. I want to thank all of you who've been here for a while. I want to thank all of you who've stood by us here. Thought of us in your hearts. Gave us prayers. Like I said, I'm not necessarily a religious guy, but hey, prayers can't hurt. I'm just very, very touched. No, I'm not drunk. I'm just don't want to go to work. But, that's the way it is. You got to go in there and make your money. True. Well, I'm going to get a rolling, folks. Please take care of yourselves out there. I got to run into work now. So, glad we had this discussion. What do you think? Danny Dyer, do you think he can do it? Would you like to see him do it? Answer me in the comment box. It came in late. Sorry. Like I said, I'm still a little phlegmy. So take care of yourselves. Have a good one. We'll see you hopefully in the future, kids.